Hi friends. So today I'm going to tell you another true story from my childhood. And this story is about two oxen named Heera and Moti who were very dear to me and my sister. Though my grandparents they had other domestic animals as well, but Heera and Moti they were favorite of my sister and mine. We would love them a lot. Whenever we wanted to swing we cling on their horns and they would never hit us back. They would also love us a lot. They were very huge in size. They had long tails, and their horns were very big and round, which always used to shine a lot. Whosoever would see these two oxen, they would come to my grandparents and ask them to sell these oxen to them. But my grandparents, they would refuse for it because they were looking for a right buyer who they didn't find till that time. One day, I found that my grandmother was mixing black powder with oil. I went near to my grandmother and I asked her, "What is it?" Then she told me that she had made a mixture which she would apply on these two oxen's horns so that they would shine more. So I got curious. I asked my grandmother, "Dadi, can I please apply this polish on these two oxen's horns?" Just then my sister also joined us and she also started requesting the same. Then my grandmother, she agreed and she let us do that job. Both of us, my sister and me, we were very happy. We would love to do any job related to Heera and Moti. So we were busy doing our job. Just then one villager, he asked my grandmother, "So Thakurain, are you planning to take these two oxen in the fair?" He was talking about a fair named Nalwad, which happens near my village once in a year. And in this fair, people buy and sell oxen. When we heard that man asking this question, we got worried and our faces turned pale, which our grandmother could sense very well. So she could not dare to tell him the truth. So she said, like, "No, no, no, we are not going to sell them or we are not going to take them into that fair. We are just grooming them." After listening to grandmother's word, we took a deep breath and we got relieved. My sister and I, we went to the fair named Nalwad, which I had already mentioned in this story, one day before the day when we were grooming these two oxen. And we brought two bells for both of them from that fair. So we tied those two bells around our oxen's necks just to make them look more beautiful. Tying bells around their neck was the final touch of grooming, which we did. And they were looking equally beautiful as the oxen were looking beautiful in this very famous song where Manoj Kumar is the protagonist. And the song name is Mere Desh Ki Dharti Sona Ugle Ugle Heere Moti. After completing this job, we went back home and after taking our lunch, we slept. So this was our daily routine where we had to sleep in daytime after taking our lunch. But that day, my sister, she said that she doesn't feel like to sleep. I asked her why. She said that somehow she feels that somebody would take Hira and Moti away. I assured her that nobody would do this without our permission. So please don't worry and lie on the bed. Though she did, but she wasn't asleep. She was pretending to be slept. After a few minutes, I realized that someone was shaking me very hard and it was my sister because she had heard tinkling sound of those bells which we had tied around Hira and Moti's necks. So she told me, "Hey, wake up, let us go outside. I think something is happening to Hira and Moti." And you know why she was saying so? Because those two bells which we had tied around Hira and Moti's necks, they were making a lot of noise. And this kind of noise of bells you hear when two oxen quarrel with each other. But Hira and Moti, no, they couldn't fight with each other ever, as they were best friends. So, after listening to that disturbing tinkling noise of those bells, we decided to go out and check the matter ourselves. So, we went and we got surprised to see this that somebody was carrying our Hira and Moti away from their shed. So, we started shouting on that man, "Hey, you man, stop here! Where are you carrying our Hira and Moti away? We will call police, we will tell our grandparents." Then that man replied, "Only your grandparents have sold these oxen to me. I am not stealing them." His words broke our hearts and we started crying vehemently. After listening to us crying so loudly, our grandparents they also came out. Here, my sister, she was not ready to let that man go with these oxen. So, what she did, she clung on one of the legs of Moti, and she said that she would not let him go. She would not let him go. Just then, our grandparents they came close to us and they said, "Sorry, we didn't inform you about it, but we have to sell these oxen as they are of no more use for us." Then we said, "No, grandparents, you can't do this. We will do the work. We will bring them grass. We will give them water. We will feed them. You please do not let this man take away these oxen. They are our friends. Please, please." And we didn't stop crying. So we kept on crying, kept on crying. At last, my grandparents they understood that they could not go away with this. They have to stop this man taking these oxen away. So finally, what they did, they understood our emotions, and as you know, that grandparents they always love their grandchildren. They cannot see them crying this much. So they returned money which that buyer had given to them, and that buyer also understood. So he didn't complain anything, and my grandparents they decided not to sell those oxen to him. So finally, when we got this assurance that grandparents were not going to sell oxen to that man, we became live again, and we thanked our grandparents. We planted so many kisses on their cheeks and we hugged them tightly. And we said like grandparents, please do not sell them, do not sell them. And if you want to do it ever, please let us know in advance so that we could prepare ourselves, which they did later when we were quite grown up. We didn't let Hira and Moti go away because we loved them a lot. And my grandparents, they didn't sell these two oxen because they love us a lot. So I have learned two things from this incidents of my life. One is that one should not stop loving animals. And second, if we can make our loved one happy at the cost of bearing some discomfort, I think we should do it. Thank you very much.